Hi guys, Frank here from Fretmasters Music Tuition. Welcome to the first episode in Guitar Maintenance Series, and today we'll be looking at how to change strings on a guitar that has a Floyd Rose bridge. To remember, when we're changing strings on a guitar that has a Floyd Rose bridge or a suspended bridge, the bridge uses springs to apply tension to all of the strings. So each string tension makes a difference to the tuning on the other strings. So before we remove the strings, what we will do is we'll prop up the bridge and then we'll remove the strings. Okay, so some of the tools we'll need to remove the strings and give the guitar a general check over are Allen keys, a Phillips screwdriver, a string winder, a brush to get rid of bits of dirt and dust, a pair of side cutters, a 10mm spanner, and of course a new set of strings. Okay, so before we can take our strings off, we need to remove the locking nuts at the top of the neck of the guitar. So let's take the first one out. Just undo it with the Allen key, take it out, and then just put it to the side for later. We repeat that process and take out the rest of the locking nuts. Okay, it's important to remember on a guitar with a Floyd Rose bridge, we need to prop up the bridge because I like to take all the strings off at one time so I can clean the fretboard down nicely. So what you can see here is I've propped the bridge up with 2 tongue depressors. I've put it in underneath and now that holds the bridge nice and steady. So now we can take off our strings. Okay, so our next step is to undo the tension on the strings from the tuning keys. So let's undo the tension with the string winder. And repeat that process. Okay, so our next step, after we've taken off the locking nuts and released the string tension, so our strings are nice and loose, like that, we will undo the locking nuts down here for the strings by undoing these with an Allen key, like that. These can be pretty tight, but be careful, we don't want to strip these, so we just unlock it and loosen it until our string comes out. Okay. And our first string is out, and we repeat the process. So now that we've taken the strings off from the Floyd, the bottom bridge, we'll take them off the tuning keys. They're all nice and loose, so we just take them off, untwist them and take them out of the tuning keys, and we repeat that process for all 6. Okay, so we've cleaned our guitar up nicely. Use whatever you like to clean the fretboard and the body of the guitar, I'll leave that to you. What we need to do now is this ball end on the string needs to be cut off on a Floyd to go back into the anchors down the bottom on the actual bridge. So we'll grab a pair of side cutters, look for where the winding finishes, and just above there you grab it and you cut it. Like that. So we've got this piece now. We put that aside to be thrown out. Now we have our string with no end. So now we need to put the string, the bottom end of the string, into this block here. Okay, so what we do is it's important to put it in and try and keep it in the middle, but you need to make sure it bottoms out So then once it's bottomed out and it's in the middle, we turn the Allen screw. We use our Allen key here, and I'm slowly doing this, making sure that it's in the middle and it's still bottomed out until it gets tight. Now that's tight there. It's important to note here not to over tighten these Allen head screws here, because if you do, they will snap because they're cast. So just be careful, just give it a tighten. You can feel when it starts to bite, which is about there, and then give it a bit more. Remember, on the thicker strings you don't have to go as tight as you would on the thinner ones. For me, that's about right there, and as you can see, that is nice and tight. I'll repeat the process for all 6 strings. Okay, so we've got our strings in on the bottom bridge. Now we need to put them through our tuning keys. As you can see, the string goes through the tuning key, and here we allow roughly 4 fingers or like that, just to give us about 2.5 to 3 turns. That's all we want. So now that we've got that, just going to adjust that, and now I'll wind the string onto the peg. First wind on the top of the string, keep winding, and then we make sure that the next wind goes on the bottom of the string, coming around like that. And we try and keep our turns nice and neat. And if you want, you can even push that up with your finger, like that. But the string will centralise itself anyway. Put it in under our string guide, like that, in through our bridge. Tighten that up. And that's our first string, and we repeat the process for all 6. So we've put all our strings on through the tuning keys, and we've put a little bit of tension on these strings, not a lot, but enough that our tongue depressors we used to hold the Floyd up, they've just come out, and they come out quite easily. So now what we need to do is tune the guitar up to standard tuning, and then we'll trim off the ends of our strings, put on the locking nuts, and we're pretty much done. So let's tune it up. Okay, so all our strings are now on and the guitar is tuned up to standard tuning. What we want to do now is remove all the excess strings up on the tuning keys. All you do is take a pair of side cutters, and you can cut it pretty much flush with the post, but of course be careful not to hit the other strings. So just cut that off like that and go ahead and repeat it for the rest. Okay guys, so we've taken our strings off, cleaned up the neck, cleaned up the body, we've restrung the guitar, we've tuned it up to standard tuning, we've cut the excess strings off. All we need to do now is put on these locking or string locks. Okay, it was shown in the beginning of the video, so that's all you need to do. Give it a final tune and it should be fine. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it for this first episode of the guitar maintenance series. Don't forget to head over to our website. We'll have a detailed manual on how to change strings on a Floyd Rose type guitar, step by step with pictures, so you'll be able to follow it. And don't forget, we've got other videos and material up online, so head on over for a couple of dollars, download whatever you need, and we'll see you next time.